The rain hammered the tin roof of the trailer like God's own judgment, each drop of accusation echoing through the cramped living room where Oliver knelt. His backpack half-zipped at his feet, stuffed with nothing but a faded photo of his mom from better days and the clothes on his back. "You're dead to me, boy," she spat, her voice cracking like thunder. Bible clutched in one fist while the other pointed at the door, the word faggot hanging unspoken but searing the air between them. In that instant, as lightning cracked the sky outside their Kentucky double-wide, Oliver realized love could shatter faster than any storm, leaving him soaked in betrayal before he even stepped into the downpour. He stumbled out into the night, the gravel crunching under his sneakers like brittle bones, the screen door slamming behind him with a finality that drowned out his choked sob. 18 years in that suffocating box of a home, years of hiding crushes on the high school quarterback, of swallowing compliments from the neighbor boy who mowed lawns shirtless, and it all unraveled in one careless moment. A stolen kiss behind the bleachers caught on a grainy phone video that went viral in their tiny town of Harlan. His mom, Evelyn, the woman who'd prayed over his scraped knees and sung him hymns at bedtime, now saw him as a stain on her soul, a devil's whisper she'd failed to exorcise. "Go find your kind," she'd hissed, and Oliver, with no dad to speak of since he split when Oliver was 5, had nowhere to go but the highway stretching black and endless under the storm. The bus to Lexington cost him his last $20, the Greyhound's fluorescent lights buzzing like angry hornets as he huddled in the back, shivering in his soaked hoodie. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving over the city, a sprawl of steel and glass that swallowed small-town ghosts like him whole. He crashed on a park bench near the University District, the Ohio River murmuring indifferently below, until campus security rousted him at noon, their flashlights cold in his eyes. "Kid, you can't loiter here. There's a shelter downtown, try St. Mary's." St. Mary's. The name stuck like a burr, a flicker of something holy in the haze of his hunger and hurt. By evening, Oliver dragged himself to the church, a squat brick building wedged between a pawn shop and a taqueria, its steeple leaning like it carried the weight of too many confessions. The sign out front read, "All are welcome, no exceptions," and for a heartbeat he believed it. Inside, the air smelled of coffee and lemon polish, pews empty save for a few stragglers nursing styrofoam cups. Behind the altar, a woman in a simple blouse and jeans, mid-40s, salt and pepper hair pulled into a no-nonsense ponytail, spotted him hovering in the doorway. "You look like you could use a hot meal and a dry corner," she said, her voice warm as fresh bread. "No pity, just fact. I'm Pastor Elena. Come on back to the kitchen." Elena Vargas didn't pry that first night, just slid a plate of chili and cornbread his way, her dark eyes steady as she chatted about the Reds' losing streak and the best thrift stores for winter coats. Born in Cincinnati to Mexican immigrants who'd crossed the border chasing factory jobs, she'd traded nursing scrubs for a collar after her own crisis of faith in her 20s. Watching her brother waste away from AIDS in the 90s, abandoned by everyone but her. "Church ain't about perfection," she told him over dish soap suds later, her hands calloused from community gardens and soup lines. "It's about showing up messy and letting grace do the rest." Oliver nodded, throat too tight to speak, but her words lodged in him like seeds in cracked soil. The shelter in the church basement became his uneasy harbor, cots lining the walls under fluorescent hum, the snores of the displaced a ragged symphony. Oliver claimed a spot by the window, staring at the alley cats scrapping over dumpsters, wondering if he'd ever feel whole again. Days blurred into a routine. Mornings volunteering in Elena's community kitchen, chopping onions until his eyes watered more from memory than mirepoix. Afternoons job hunting at the library, his resume a joke. High school dropout, no skills beyond bagging groceries at the Piggly Wiggly back home. Nights, he'd lie awake, the phantom echo of his mom's voice. "You're choosing sin over salvation," twisting like a knife. It was on a crisp October Thursday, 2 weeks in, that Logan appeared, like a rogue autumn gust blowing through the side door with a guitar case slung over one shoulder and a smile that could coax sun from clouds. 20, lanky with sun-bleached curls and freckles dusting his nose like cinnamon. He was the church's new youth outreach coordinator, fresh from a gap year backpacking the Appalachian Trail. "Hey, I'm Logan Hayes," he said, extending a hand rough from trailblazing, his blue eyes crinkling at the corners. Heard Elena's got a wizard in the kitchen. Said your biscuits could raise the dead. Oliver flushed, wiping flour from his apron, mumbling something about luck and lye soap, but Logan's laugh was easy, disarming, pulling him into a conversation about dive bars and Dylan lyrics that stretched through lunch. Logan was out and proud, raised by a single dad in Louisville who'd marched in the first Pride parades, a poli-sci major at the local community college dreaming of advocacy work. He didn't tiptoe around Oliver's silences, just shared stories of his own coming out. The relief of it, the raw edges where family frayed but didn't fully snap. My old man said, "Son, love's the hardest revolution there is. Took me years to get that." They bonded over late-night jam sessions in the church's rec room, Logan strumming folk tunes while Oliver hummed along, his voice rusty but true. There was a spark there, tentative as a match struck in wind. Stolen glances over hymnals, brushes of knuckles when passing sheet music, the air thickening with unspoken want. Elena's watchful I caught it all, her sermons that fall weaving threads of radical acceptance. Ruth and Naomi's devotion, David's harp for Saul's soul. God doesn't sort us by labels, she'd preach, her voice rising like incense, but by how we lift each other's burdens. She pulled Oliver aside one Sunday after service, the sanctuary emptying to the patter of October rain. That boy's light in your dark, Ollie. But light casts shadows too. Don't run from yours. He confessed then, haltingly, the trailer park expulsion, the viral video that branded him pariah back home. Tears came unbidden, hot and ashamed, but Elena enveloped him in a hug that smelled of patchouli and purpose. Your mama's fear ain't your fault, Mijo. You're not broken. You're becoming. As leaves turned flame and frost nipped the air, Oliver and Logan's friendship deepened into something electric, stolen moments in the church's bell tower. Kisses tasting of peppermint gum and possibility. Logan's hands mapping the scars Oliver hid under hoodies. Not just the fresh ones from sleeping rough, but the old ones etched by rejection. You're beautiful, Logan whispered one night, their breaths fogging the glass as the city twinkled below, and Oliver believed him. For the first time, the word a balm on wounds he thought eternal. They dreamed aloud. Road trips to the Smokies, a shared apartment above a coffee shop. Logan finishing his degree while Oliver apprenticed at a bakery Elena knew. Felt like grace, unearned and overflowing. But winter crept in with claws, and so did the cracks. Oliver's mom called once, a terse voicemail on a borrowed phone. Heard you're shacked up with some church do-gooders. Don't think this erases what you are. He deleted it, but the venom lingered, poisoning his sleep. Logan, sensing the shift, pushed for more, introducing him to his circle of activist friends at queer coffee hours, where rainbow flags fluttered like promises. This is us, Ollie, your family now. Yet doubt gnawed. Was he worthy? A trailer trash kid with no roots, clinging to a golden boy who'd never known eviction's bite? The betrayal came swift as a slap, on a sleet-lashed December eve. Logan, flushed from a rally against conversion therapy, burst into the kitchen where Oliver was prepping soup for the shelter's holiday feast. Babe, pack your things. We're going to my dad's for Christmas. He's got space, and it's time you meet the folks proper. Elation surged, then crashed. Logan's dad, the activist icon, whose podcast episodes Oliver had devoured in secret, praising Logan's brave authenticity. But as they loaded the truck, Logan's phone buzzed. A text from an ex, casual flirtation spilling secrets Oliver had shared in vulnerability. His mom's slurs, his fears of inadequacy. Just venting, Logan shrugged when confronted, eyes evasive. You hold everything so tight. I needed to breathe. The drive to Louisville was a minefield, silences exploding into accusations. Oliver's insecurity a wall, Logan's impatience a battering ram. At the Hayes' cozy bungalow, strung with lights and laughter, the facade held for an hour. Handshakes, eggnog toasts. Then, over pie, Logan's dad asked about Oliver's family, and the dam broke. Mine threw me out, Oliver choked, voice raw. Called me an abomination. The room stilled, Logan's hand under the table squeezing his. But later, alone in the guest room, Logan hissed. You always do this. Make it a tragedy. Can't you just be happy for once? Betrayal bloomed cold in Oliver's chest. The man who'd kissed his doubts away now wielded them like weapons. He fled at midnight, hitchhiking back to St. Mary's through sheets of ice, arriving numb and frostbitten as Elena unlocked the door in her robe. Ay, Dios, she murmured, bundling him into blankets by the space heater, hot cocoa steaming between them. The story spilled out in sobs. Logan's slip, the holiday charade crumbling. Elena listened without interruption, then cupped his face. Betrayal's the shadow of trust, Ollie. It hurts because you dared to love. But look at you still standing. That's your strength, not some miracle I hand you. She shared her own scar then. Her brother's lover, who vanished with his savings after the diagnosis, leaving her to bury him alone. Pain teaches us who we are when the masks fall. You're resilient, Mijo, forged in fire most never touch. Word spread. Logan showed up the next dawn, eyes red-rimmed, begging forgiveness on the church steps. I was scared, you're so deep in it, and I didn't know how to pull you out without drowning too. Oliver, bandaged heart aching, saw the truth. Logan's bravado was armor, cracked by his own fears of failing the revolution his dad embodied. They talked for hours in the empty sanctuary, pews witnesses to raw apologies and revelations. Logan's hidden panic attacks, Oliver's buried rage at his mom. I love you, Logan said finally, voice breaking. Flaws and all, teach me how to hold yours without dropping them. Forgiveness wasn't a switch flipped but a bridge rebuilt, plank by plank, starting with a chaste handhold under the stained-glass dove. Spring thawed the Ohio Valley in greens and golds, mirroring the slow bloom in Oliver's soul. Elena mentored them both, her Wednesday Bible studies evolving into a queer youth group, Sanctuary Circles. They called it, where stories like his weren't scandals but sacraments. Oliver enrolled in GD classes at the library, his essays on resilience earning A's and a scholarship to culinary school. Logan deferred his advocacy dreams, taking a barista gig to ground himself. Their dates now picnics by the river, simple as sandwiches and stargazing. Yet the past prowled. A letter arrived in May, postmarked Harlan. His mom, words shaky on lined paper. Saw your face on a church newsletter. Thought you were gone for good. Pastor here preached on prodigals. Said God's love don't quit. Neither does a mother's, even when she fails it. Attached a bus ticket home. Oliver's hands trembled. Logan squeezed his shoulder. Go if you want. I'll be here no matter the ending. The drive back with Elena at the wheel was a pilgrimage. Kentucky hills unfolding like old wounds reopening. The trailer sagged under summer sun. Evelyn on the porch in her housecoat, thinner, eyes hollowed by chemo she'd hidden, breast cancer, stage 3. Didn't want your pity? She rasped, but pulled him into a hug that smelled of regret and rosewater. No grand speeches, just tears and truths. Her own buried shame, a high school fling with a girl that terrified her into fundamentalism. I projected my hell onto you, son. Forgive me? He did, not erasing the scar but honoring the healing. Logan waited in Lexington, their reunion a quiet joy, dinner at a riverside diner, hands intertwined under checkered cloth. Elena officiated their commitment ceremony that fall in the churchyard, under that same oak strung with lights, a circle of misfits cheering as they vowed in sickness, in storms, in the mess of it all. Years later, Oliver ran the shelter's kitchen, his biscuits legendary, while Logan lobbied for LGBTQ plus foster reforms. Their home a bungalow echoing with laughter and late-night strums. Evelyn visited twice a year, her faith softening like clay in rain, reading psalms over Skype when grandkids. Adopted, boisterous, toddled into frame. And Elena? She retired to a garden plot, her sermons now whispers to the soil, but her legacy bloomed in every soul she'd steadied. In the end, hope wasn't a handout from on high but a fire kindled in the gut, passed hand to hand. Oliver knew that now, his heart a hearth where betrayal's ashes fed new flames. The summer after their ceremony stretched lazy and luminous, the kind of Ohio heat that turned the river to steam and tempers to tinder. Oliver and Logan had scraped together a deposit on a one-bedroom above the Blue Danube Cafe. Its walls paper-thin but painted sky blue, a far cry from the basement cot's chill. Mornings, Oliver rose with the lark to knead dough downstairs, the scent of cinnamon rising like prayers, while Logan lingered in sheets tangled with dreams of policy papers and protest signs. "You're my anchor," Logan murmured one dawn, lips brushing Oliver's flour-dusted neck, and Oliver laughed, light as yeast, believing it bone deep. Elena's sanctuary circles had swelled to 20 souls by July. Trans kids from the suburbs, elders who'd hidden decades in the closet, immigrants weaving faith with flags from home. Oliver facilitated now, his voice steadier with each share. "I learned love's not a transaction. It's a risk that reshapes you." Logan tagged along, his guitar the glue, but cracks showed in his easy charm. Late nights, he'd pace the apartment, phone glued to ear, arguing with his dad over strategy for a statewide bill protecting queer youth from conversion camps. "It's not enough," he'd snap, then collapse onto the couch, head in hands. "What if we lose again? What if I'm just yelling into the void?" Oliver soothed with chamomile tea and truths Elena had taught him. Change is a marathon, not a sprint. You're planting seeds, even if you don't see the harvest. But doubt festered, Logan's fire turning inward, singeing their intimacy. Sex, once a sacrament of rediscovery, grew perfunctory. Quick grapples against the fridge, Logan's mind miles away in hearing rooms. "Sorry," he'd mutter post-climax, rolling away, and Oliver, swallowing rejection's bitter pill, would trace the freckles on his back, whispering, "We're okay. We're us." August brought the storm. A rally in Cincinnati, Logan's group spearheading chants against a proposed family values ordinance that had gut trans healthcare. Oliver tagged along, manning a water station amid the sweat-soaked crowd, rainbow banners snapping in the breeze off the riverfront. The energy crackled, speeches thundering from the stage, fists raised in solidarity. But as dusk fell, counter-protesters surged, bullhorns blaring scripture-twisted hate, faces contorted in fervor. A bottle sailed, shattering near Oliver's feet. Shards glittered like accusations. Logan, mid-chant, whirled, eyes wild, shoving Oliver behind him. "Stay back." But in the melee, a burly man in a MAGA cap lunged, fist connecting with Logan's jaw in a sickening thud. Blood bloomed on the pavement, copper sharp, and chaos erupted. Cops wading in, zip ties clicking. Oliver dropped to his knees, cradling Logan's head, the metallic tang mixing with his own vomit rising. "I'm here, baby, I'm here." Elena arrived in her old Subaru, parting the fray like Moses, her clerical collar a shield as she demanded medics. Hospital lights buzzed sterile overhead hours later, Logan's cheeks swollen purple, stitches marching across his brow like a badge. "Worth it?" Oliver asked, voice small, thumbing away a tear from Logan's uninjured eye. Logan gripped his hand, knuckles white. "Every bruise. But seeing you scared like that. God, Ollie, I can't lose you to this fight." Discharge papers in hand, they drove home silent, the apartment a cocoon against the world's roar. That night, barriers crumbled. Confessions poured under the hum of the box fan. Logan's terror of becoming his dad. All bluster, no bomb. Oliver's phantom ache for the family he'd half reclaimed. They made love slow, reverent, bodies a map of survival. Logan's whispers a litany. "You're my why, my home." Fall gilded the edges. Evelyn's visits a tentative rhythm. She'd arrive by bus, clutching Tupperware of cornbread, her chemo curls hidden under scarves patterned with cardinals. Kentucky's state bird, a nod to roots. Over coffee at the kitchen table, she'd probe gently. "How's that boy of yours? Still strumming sinners' hymns?" Oliver chuckled, passing photos from the rally, Logan mid-speech, arm raised defiant. "He's saving the world, one song at a time. And me? I'm learning to save myself." Evelyn's eyes, once flint-hard, softened to hazel pools. "You always were the strong one, Ollie. I was the fool chasing ghosts." One crisp November afternoon, She asked to join a sanctuary circle, her voice a whisper over the phone. Think they'd have a sinner like me? Oliver's heart clenched. Forgiveness a two-way street, potholed with pain. Elena welcomed her with open arms. No sermons, just space in the circle. Evelyn shared haltingly. Her youth, the forbidden touch with a farm girl named Clara, silenced by shotgun weddings and shame. I built walls to keep the hurt out, but locked myself in too. The group enveloped her, stories bridging divides. A trans woman's transition funded by church fundraisers. An elder's first pride at 75. Logan strummed Amazing Grace soft. His bruises faded to yellow memory, and Evelyn wept, not in sorrow but release. Winter whispered in with snowflakes fat as forgiveness, blanketing Lexington in hush. Oliver's culinary program kicked off, his knife skills honed on heirloom tomatoes and herb-crusted lamb. Visions of a food truck dancing, queer bites, serving comfort with a side of community. Logan landed an internship at a legal aid clinic, drafting briefs that chipped at discriminatory laws. His passion rekindled by Oliver's quiet pride. Dates wove whimsy. Ice skating on the river, Logan's laughter echoing as they tumbled into drifts. Bonfires in the churchyard, Elena roasting marshmallows while spinning tales of her nursing days, smuggling condoms to AIDS wards in the 80s. But shadows lengthen before solstice. Logan's ex, Marcus, a silver-tongued journalist from his backpacking days, reappeared via email, pitching a feature on queer activists in the heartland. Flattery flowed. Your story's gold, Lo. With Ollie's redemption arc? Pulitzer bait. Logan showed Oliver the thread, casual at first, but threads tangle. Late edits arrived. Marcus twisting Logan's words, painting Oliver as the abandoned waif who found salvation in protest. His trauma a prop for Logan's heroism. It's not like that, Logan protested when Oliver confronted him. Screen glowing accusatory in the dim kitchen. He's spinning it. I set him straight. Betrayal's echo, sharp as fresh glass. Like you vented to him before? Am I your muse or your footnote? Oliver's voice cracked, old wounds weeping. Logan recoiled, then rallied. This could fund the food truck, get us visibility for the circles. It's not about me. It's us. But trust, fragile as hoarfrost, shattered under scrutiny. Oliver stormed to St. Mary's, finding Elena in the garden, pruning roses bare-knuckled against the cold. Men, she sighed, handing him shears. They fight dragons but forget the home fires. Clip here. Let the deadwood go. Reconciliation brewed slow, over mulled wine at a circle potluck. Marcus's piece dropped, lauded but laced with half-truths, sparking backlash. Trolls flooding Logan's inbox with slurs, doxing Oliver's old trailer address. Logan deleted the post, issued a blistering correction, but the damage lingered. Nights Oliver bolted awake from dreams of viral videos. Logan's arm a anchor he both craved and questioned. I screwed up, Logan admitted one blizzard-bound eve. Snow muffling the world outside. Chased the spotlight, dimmed yours. Teach me again how to see you. Oliver, heart a bellows fanning embers, pulled him close. We learned together. No heroes, just us, holding the line. Spring equinox brought renewal. Evelyn scans clear, her first circle testimony a milestone. Voice steady as she claimed, grace isn't given, it's grown. Oliver's food truck prototype rolled out at a farmer's market, queer bites, dishing empanadas infused with Elena's family recipes. Logan flipping griddles beside him, curls sweat curled. Crowds gathered, not just for flavor but stories. Plates passed with prompts. What's your hope today? Summer circled back, hotter, wiser. Their anniversary fell on a heat wave, celebrated with a picnic under the oak. Elena toasting with iced horchata. To love that bends but don't break, she said, eyes twinkling. Logan gifted Oliver a locket. Inside, a tiny photo of them post-rally, bruised but beaming. My why, forever. Oliver's gift. A journal, pages filled with letters to his younger self. Affirmations Elena inspired. You are enough. You are seen. As cicadas hummed dusk's lullaby, they danced barefoot in the grass, bodies attuned. Hearts synced to a rhythm hard one. Betrayal had been the forge, hope the hammer. Shaping not saints, but survivors, intertwined. The second anniversary dawned electric, thunder rumbling distant over the Appalachians, as if applauding their endurance. Oliver woke to the sizzle of bacon. Logan's attempt at breakfast in bed. Plates balanced precariously on the nightstand amid scattered rose petals from the corner bodega. 2 years, Logan grinned, feeding him a strip crisp and salty, his free hand tracing lazy circles on Oliver's thigh under the sheets. Feels like a lifetime, the good kind. Oliver savored the grease and gaze, but a knot twisted low. Evelyn's latest call, voice frail over static. Tumor markers up, Doc says. But don't fret. Got my psalms. He didn't tell Logan. Not then. Burying worry in work. Queer Bites had wheels now. A retro Airstream gleaming turquoise. Parked at festivals from Louisville's Bourbon and beyond to Cincy's Oktoberfest. Slinging fusion fare. Kentucky hot browns with a rainbow twist. A lote laced with Elena's Abuela's chili. Lines snaked. Laughter bubbled. Logan manned the register. Upselling hope with every, that'll be $10 and a story. Elena popped in weekly, her retirement a myth. Apron tied over muumuus as she bossed the grill. More cumin mijo. Wakes the soul. Sanctuary circles hit 50. Spilling from the rec room to the parking lot. Folding chairs under string lights where testimonies unfurled like flags. A non-binary teen shared binder scars fresh from top surgery. A bi-dad confessed workplace whispers. Oliver moderated with Elena's poise. Logan's songs the heartbeat. But autumn winds carried whispers of fracture. Logan's internship morphed to full-time at the clinic, hours stretching to midnight marathons of motions and meetings. This bill's our shot, he'd say, pecking Oliver's cheek en route to the door, cologne faint as fidelity. Nights alone. Oliver chopped onions till cathartic tears flowed, the knife's rhythm a metronome to loneliness. Evelyn's updates trickled, chemo resuming, her trailer a confessional via video. Praying for you boys. Saw a rainbow yesterday, sign from above. He flew budget to Harlan once a month, the prop plane dipping over hollers, landing him in her sagging embrace. Your glowing son, she'd note, fingering his calloused hands. That Logan's keeping you fed? Laughter bridged the miles, but her coughs lingered, wet and worrying. Thanksgiving loomed, a haze tradition. Logan's dad hosting, table groaning with turkey and tales of 80s activism. Oliver prepped sides, cornbread dressing, his secret weapon. But en route, Logan's phone erupted. Emergency hearing, the bill teetering. Go on without me, he urged, dropping Oliver at the curb. Tell Dad I love him. The meal dragged, toasts to absent warriors. Logan's dad clapping Oliver's shoulder. You're the steady one, kid. Keeps my boy grounded. Gratitude warmed, but hollow. Text updates sporadic. Logan crashing on the couch post-midnight. Elena sensed the strain at circles that week, pulling Oliver aside post-song. Marriage ain't a solo. It's a duet. If he's off-key, tune him gentle. Her own news dropped casual. A mission trip to the border, aiding migrant families. Can't preach welcome without walking it. Pride swelled, tinged with loss. She'd been his North Star. You'll shine without me hovering. She winked, but her hug lingered, frail under the blouse. December dusted frost, Queer Bites hibernating till spring. Oliver picking up shifts at the Blue Danube, steaming lattes amid holiday bustle. Logan burned brighter, the bill passing committee, champagne corks popping at the clinic. We're changing lives, Ollie, he'd crow, sweeping Oliver into victory spins. But victory's voracious, devouring date nights, canceled dinners, forgotten anniversaries minor. One eve, post-shift, Oliver found the apartment dim. Logan hunched over laptop, takeout congealing. Missed you, Oliver said, setting tie beside him. Logan glanced up, distracted. Babe, just one more clause, then I'm yours. The one more stretched to dawn. Oliver curling alone, the bed vast as abandonment. Morning brought apology coffee. Logan's kiss contrite. I suck. Dinner tomorrow, promise. But tomorrow bled to briefs, and resentment simmered, unspoken. Evelyn's call shattered the pot. Hospital. Pneumonia on top of the cancer. Come if you can. Oliver booked the first flight, Logan nodding support from his desk. I'll wrap up and meet you there. Harlan's R hummed fluorescent. Evelyn hooked to monitors. Her smile wan but wicked. Brought my favorite nurse you. Days blurred. Broth-fed spoons, hymn harmonies soft. Logan arrived day 3, rumpled suit reeking of jet fuel and jasmine. His peace offering, a bouquet of wildflowers scavenged from the airport gift shop. Couldn't leave you solo, he said, collapsing into the vinyl chair, hand finding Oliver's across the bed rail. Evelyn rallied enough for banter. Heard you boys passed that law, making the world safe for sissies like my Ollie. Laughter coughed out, lightening the beeps. Christmas in ICU. Twinkly lights strung by nurses, carols warbling from a boombox. Logan read, "'Twas the night before" to Evelyn, voice theatrical, Oliver chiming elves in falsetto. As snow flurried outside, she gripped their hands. You too, my miracle. Love like yours? That's the real gospel. Peace settled, fragile as tinsel. Elena's border dispatches arrived via texts. Photos of kids clutching teddy bears. Her caption, Grace has no papers. Inspired, Oliver sketched expansions for circles. Virtual sessions for rural queers, scholarships via Queer Bites profits. Logan dove in drafting grants post-holiday, their collaboration a bomb. New Year's Eve, Evelyn stabilized enough for discharge. Trailer festooned with cards from her church ladies. Prayers for the prodigal's pride. One read, Rainbow Sharpie flourish. Winter waned, crocuses poking defiant. Back in Lexington, momentum built. A donor luncheon for circles. Elena zooming from Juarez, her face sun-leathered, blessing the spread. Oliver's hot browns wowed. Logan's pitch sealed a 5-figure pledge. Elation electric. They celebrated rooftop. City sprawl glittering below. Champagne fizzing like fireworks. To us? Logan toasted, pulling Oliver close, lips lingering. The dream team. Heat built. Urgent. Back downstairs. Clothes shed in a trail. Bodies rediscovering rhythms lost to routine. Logan's hands, lawyer-inked now, mapped with reverence. Oliver's gasps prayers of presence. After, tangled and sated, Logan whispered, I drifted. Won't again. Spring bloomed boisterous. Evelyn's checkups clean. Her visits laced with grandkid envy. Adopt one for me. Make me Tia Evelyn. Sanctuary circles launched online. Voices from coal towns and coastal cities weaving a web. Queer Bites revved for markets. Logan moonlighting as Sue, his flips flamboyant. Elena returned tanned and transformed. Mission tales fueling sermons. Borders are lines we draw. Love erases them. Yet summer's simmer brewed trouble anew. Marcus resurfaced, now editor at a glossy mag, pitching a Heartland Heroes spread. Logan front and center. Oliver the devoted partner. Flattery flowed thicker. Dinners comped at steakhouses. Its exposure, Logan justified, but Oliver smelled the serpent. Marcus's eyes lingering, old flames flickering. One night, post-meal, Logan stumbled in late, scotch on breath. Ty askew. Great leads, he slurred, collapsing. Oliver rifled his pockets. Receipt for 2, scribbled note. Missed the spark. Drink soon? M. Rage roared. Dawn's light merciless. Confrontation cracked like eggshell. Am I your prop again? Or just the beard till he beckons? Logan paled, sobriety sharpening regret. One drink, Ollie networking. Nothing happened. But texts told tales. Can't stop thinking about our trail days. Logan's fire. Betrayal's blade twisted familiar. Oliver packing a duffel. St. Mary's his refuge. Elena found him in the kitchen, dough punched vicious. Again? She sighed, rolling up sleeves. Love's a boomerang, hurts coming back too. Logan pursued. Porch vigils with Elena mediating. You chase validation like it's oxygen, but Ollie's your air. Tears carved canyons. Logan's confession cathartic. Marcus a crutch for daddy issues, the mag a mirror to unmet ambitions. I sabotage us to feel big. Fix me. Please. Oliver, hard a sieve, weighed the wreckage. Patterns or progress? One more chance, he decreed. But therapy now. Circles for couples. Summer solstice sealed it. Joint sessions with a queer therapist. Unpacking Logan's savior complex. Oliver's abandonment echoes. Evelyn mediated via call. Her wisdom wry. Men are like cornbread. Crumbly if not mixed right. Laughter leaven the labor. Trust rebuilding brick by brick. As fireflies danced July dusks, they emerged annealed. Logan tabling the mag pitch. Oliver helming a circle's retreat in the hills. Elena's garden party capped it. Lanterns swaying, her toast tear-tinged. To fires that refine, not consume. Autumn's palette painted the valley in fire. Oaks ablaze, maples molten. As Oliver and Logan's third year unfurled like a well-worn quilt, patched but warmer for the men's. Therapy had tethered them tighter. Weekly check-ins a ritual. Logan's journal of gratitudes. Oliver's vision boards of futures unfettered. Queer bites thrived. A second truck scouting urban lots. Flavors evolving. Vegan jambalaya nodding to Elena's vegan phase. Post-mission epiphany on compassion. Feed the body, heal the heart. She'd quip. Taste testing with theatrical moans. Sanctuary circles crested 100. Hybrid now. In-person potlucks laced with Elena's tamales. Virtual vigils for those zooming from closets. Evelyn's role grew. Honorary elder. The group dubbed her. Her Harlan testimonies trending on the church's TikTok. Gray curls framing fierce faith. Came for redemption. Stayed for the rainbows. She'd wink, but privately to Oliver. Tired spells, son. Bones ache deeper now. He nodded, masking alarm, scheduling scans between shifts. Halloween howled in with a block party. Trucks parked tandem. Costumes queer cinematic. Logan as a flannel-clad lumberjack fairy. Oliver channeling Gomez Adams. Mustache waxed absurd. Candy corn flew. Drag queens lip-synced under harvest moons. Elena channeling Frida with floral crowns. Amid the revelry, Logan's phone vibrated insistent. His dad, voice gravel post-stroke. Mild, they say, hospital in Louisville. Come. They dashed, costumes shed in the cab, arriving to monitors beeping steady. Logan's mom. Long estranged but thawed by crisis. Perched vigilant. He lit up talking about you boys, she said, hugging Oliver awkward but earnest. Days blurred. Bedside vigils, Logan's hands steady in his dad's frail one. Stories swapping. Activism anthems from the 70s. Logan's lullabies learned at knee. Recovery rallied, rehab a grind. But family fractured mended tentative. Dinners in the hospital cafeteria. Mom's meatloaf a peace offering. November's chill bit. Evelyn's cough chronic now. X-rays shadowing lungs. Oliver shuttled between cities. Greyhound his chariot. Heart a yo-yo. Double duty, he joked to Logan. But eyes betrayed exhaustion. Elena stepped in. Circles co-led with a mentee. A burly ex-Marine trans man named Jax. Voice like velvet thunder. You've built this ark, Ollie. Time to rest in it. Thanksgiving pivoted. Evelyn insisting on hosting. Trailer spruced with thrift store finery. Oxygen tank humming discreet. Logan flew in post-rehab drop-off. Arms laden with pies. Table talk meandered. Evelyn's Clara tales. Logan's dad tales via speakerphone. Laughter a liturgy. To kinships chosen. Elena toasted remotely. Her video flickering from a migrant center relapse. Post-feast, Oliver and Logan washed dishes side by side. Suds bubbling conspiratorial. Proud of you, Logan murmured, hip bumping. Holding all this grace. Winter wrapped tight, solstice candles flickering at circles you'll gathering. Evergreens decked pagan queer. Carols remixed with pronouns inclusive. Logan's grant writing bore fruit. A fund for trans elders housing. First resident a septuagenarian firebrand named Ruby. Her story spice to the stew. Oliver's boards filled. Culinary cert stacking. A cookbook dream. Trails to tables. Queer recipes for the soul. But January's jaw clenched. Logan's dad relapsed, Tae chaining to the first stroke, prognosis pocked with maybes. Logan frayed, clinic hours halved for bedside marathons. Apartment a way station of takeout wrappers and tension. He's fighting. Logan vented one blizzard night, snow sealing them in. Like we do. Oliver nodded, but chafed at the eclipse. His own calls to Harlan unanswered. Evelyn's voicemails vague. Fine. Just flu stuff. February's full moon waxed fat. Circles planning a pride precursor. Love Unchained gala. Auctioning truck dinners for the fund. Oliver emceed rehearsals. Jack's handling lights. But Logan's no-shows piled. Dad's rough today. Resentment ripened, unspoken, till a gala dry run. Logan late, bursting and disheveled, apology tumbling. Snapped at Mom, said he's burdening us all. Silence stretched, then Oliver's damn. And me? Am I your cheer squad or your shadow? Words wounded winged, Logan recoiling. You're everything? Why can't you see? Therapy triage next morn. Counselor's couch a confessional. Logan's grief a vortex-sucking light. Oliver's empathy a mask cracking. Boundaries aren't betrayal, she coached. They're breath. Homework. Date nights enforced. Phones off. First, a dive bar open mic. Logan crooning wagon wheel raw. Oliver's claps thunder. Second, ice fishing on the frozen river. Lines plumbed deep as dialogues. Logan's fear of orphaning. Oliver's of erasure. March thawed tentative. Logan's dad stabilizing enough for home hospice. Mom's truce holding. Evelyn's truth-telling call. Cancer spread. Doc says months. Want you here, Ollie, not pity presence. He went, Logan in tow, trailer a hospice haven, hospice nurse popping in, Elena shipping care packages of teas and tracks. Evenings. Evelyn held court. Remember that video? Thought it'd end you. But look. Chef. Lover. Light. Logan strummed bedside, her favorites. How great thou art, twanged folk. Elena's own shadow loomed. Diagnosis dropped casual over brunch. Early pancreatic. Caught it wandering the border dust. No tears yet, she commanded, fork spearing eggs. We've got galas to dazzle. Circles rallied, Jack stepping up, but Oliver's gut nodded, two anchors dragging. Logan sensed, pulling him to the oak post-rehearsal. We're in this chorus, babe. Harmonies hold. Gala night glittered. Venue a converted warehouse, chandeliers dripping drama. Bids soaring on Oliver's chef demos. Truffle mac queer-coated with edible glitter. Elena emceed in sequins, voice velvet over vitriol. Love Unchained isn't permission, it's power. Logan's speech slayed. Dad's fight fueling the fund. Vulnerability viral. Post-auction. Dance floor throbbed. Oliver and Logan swaying slow to Chapel Roan. Breaths synced. Thank you, Logan whispered, forehead to Oliver's, for seeing me whole. Spring sigh softened blows. Evelyn's bucket list unfolded. Kentucky Derby picnic, Churchill Downs buzzing. Her in a fascinator feathered fabulous. Wager on the long shot, she urged, mint julep sloshing. Logan captured it candid, her laugh lines lit. Elena's treatments targeted, her garden a sanctuary of trials. Chemo days napping under sunflowers, good days weeding with Jacks. Summer solstice circled sacred. Joint memorial planning, not morbid but mapping. Evelyn's ashes to the Ohio, Elena's to a migrant memorial. Circles retreat in hollers, cabins creaking communal. Oliver led a workshop, feeding grief. Recipes as rites, bread broken for burdens shared. Logan facilitated, singing through shadows. His guitar grief's guide. Nights by campfire, stories spiraled. Ruby's underground balls in the 60s. Jax's marine discharge dishonor. Betrayal's ghost revisited subtly. Marcus emailing Logan, a sympathy piece pitch. Trials of trailblazers. Logan forwarded transparent. Flattered, but no. My story's ours, not spectacle. Oliver's trust tallied at triumph, their kiss seal. As dog days dawdled, Evelyn weakened, breaths shallowing. Oliver at bedside, Logan alternating Louisville runs. Proud, she rasped final, hand in his. Love, like yours. Heaven's preview. She slipped at dawn, August 15th, river murmuring elegy. Funeral hybrid. Harlan church packed, circles streaming hymns. Elena eulogized. Evelyn crossed her own Jordan into Grace's arms. Grief's gale howled, Oliver adrift, Logan his mast. Elena's hand steady. Mourn wide, heel wide. Falls forge awaited. Fires familiar. Flames forging forward. Falls forge hammered home. Leaves a pyre underfoot as Oliver navigated Evelyn's estate. A trailer of trinkets, Bible underlined fierce. Her recipe box a relic of resilience. Keep the cornbread card, Logan suggested, sorting yellowed index. His own grief for his dad a quiet undercurrent. Hospice days ticking. They scattered ashes at sunset. Ohio lapping the urn's pour. Evelyn's voice echoing in wind. Long shot winds. Circles held a vigil. Lanterns launched riverward. Jax's base anchoring. It is well. Elena's decline danced diagonal. Good week's galas grand. Bad one's bedbound. Her apartment a bloom of books and botanicals. Oliver ferried soups. Logan filing her legacy briefs. Letters to Circle's kin. Wisdom distilled. Pancreas playing dirty, she joke, for dripping defiant. But souls sassy as ever. Therapy tandem now included her. Trio unpacking ends edges. Death's not defeat, she preached. Just the curtain call. November's gray gifted grace. Logan's dad rallied improbable. Homebound but hosting hybrid Thanksgivings. Zoom toasts. Oliver's dressing shipped express. Family's a verb, Logan's mom noted, thawing further. Her pecan pie a portal to past pains aired. Circles crested crestfallen yet collective. Virtual volumes vaulting valleys. A young pastor from Juarez guesting Elena's lore. Winter's whitewashed wounds. Solstice a sanctuary of song. Logan's You'll playlist queer caroling. Oliver baking stolen studded stars. Queer bites braved blizzards. Pop-ups plowing proceeds to Elena's fund. Betrayal's bomb proved bedrock when Marcus materialized at a fundraiser. Schmoozing sponsors slick. Logan stonewalled. Appreciate the interest, but our narrative's not for sale. Marcus slunk. Oliver squeezed solidarity. Handled like a boss. January's jaw unclenched. Elena's scans a standoff. Stable, spiteful spread stalled. Miracle's just medicine plus mystery, she marveled. Plotting a farewell fiesta for spring. Oliver's cookbook coalesced. Queries queried. Trails to tables pitched poignant. A publisher nibbling. Logan lobbied locally. A Lexington ordinance shielding shelters from faith-based funding cuts. Ironic armor. February's frost forged fortitude. Circle's Love Unchained. Sequel sold out. Elena emceeing ethereal. Wig whimsy. Her, This cancer's no match for my chisme. Bids boomed. A date with Logan auctioned absurd. Activists night off. Dishes and Dylan. Fetching fierce for the fund. Post-party. They honored it home. Logan strums soft. Oliver's harmonies healing. Bed a benediction. Marches melt murmured momentum. Evelyn's estate echoes easing. Trailer sold. Proceeds seeding a Harlan scholarship for queer youth. Evelyn's long shots. Oliver's manuscript mailed. Acceptance arriving April Fools. Legit. Launch slated fall. Elena's fiesta flowered. Backyard bash. Marigolds marching to mariachi. Her speeches sparkling. I've pastored pews, borders, bellies, but you? My masterpiece. Summer symphony swelled. Queer bites fleet to 3. Logan's OING operations. Their synergy seamless. Circles canonized online. A podcast Sanctuary Stories, scripted. Jax hosting hallowed. Logan's dad danced at a family wedding. His nephews, rainbow boutonniere. Steps shuffling but spirited. Mom's arm his. Oliver's toast tipping hat. To late blooms. Yet Elena's eclipse edged. July jaundiced her jests. Hospice humming home. No more chemo charades, she declared. Bed a throne of quilts. Oliver and Logan rotated. Readings rotating. Poetry from Neruda. Psalms her spin. Remember that first chilly night? She reminisced one dusk. Hand in theirs. You Ali soaked stray. Now, soaring. Tears traced, her thumb wiping. Grace's got you. Fly. August's azure ached. Elena's breaths bird-like. Final circles convened bedside. Jack's leading litanies. Kinships keening. To the pastor who pastored us all. Logan eulogized post-passage. August 22nd. River right at twilight. Ashes to asters, her garden's gift. Funeral fiesta redux. Laughter loud as loss. Jack's inheriting the collar. Elena's letters legacy. Grief's garden grew autumnal. Oliver's book proofs poignant. Dedication. For anchors. Evelyn, Elena. For sales. Logan. Launch in October. Harlan signing hybrid. Evelyn's long shots lining up. A teen tearful. Your story? Mine. Logan's ordinance ordained. Cheers cascading. November's nostalgia nested. Thanksgiving at Logan's dad's. Table full. Mom matchmaking mischief. Grandkids? Adopt a pack. Laughter liberated. Oliver's hand in Logan's under linen. Pulse promising. Winter's wonder wrapped year 4. Solstice stars sharp. Circles you'll yielded yields. Ruby's memoir midwifed. Jax's wedding to his beau. Oliver catering Logan best man. New Year's nook. Rooftop resolutions. Champagne chinked. To trails trod. Tables turned. Logan toasted. And us unbreakable. Spring's spiral spun eternal. Oliver's food empire light. Scholarship sprouting. Logan's lawyering local legend. Dad's decline dialed back. Jax's circles crescendoed. Elena's ethos etched. Summer's solstice sealed saga. Under the oak. Commitment vow renewed. Rings resized. Elena's locket looped. Vows voiced. In storms sailed. Betrayals bridged. Hopes harvested. We choose you. Again. Circles circled. Lanterns lit. Jax's base blessing. Years layered like Philo. Flaky fierce. Kids came, too. Fostered then forever, towheads tumbling. Evelyn's echoes in their eyes. Elena's in their empathy. Oliver's tables fed thousands. Logan's laws liberated legions. Betrayals? Backstory. Burnished to beacon. In the heartland's hum, they thrived. Love a liturgy lived. Humanistic hymn. Not heaven's handout, but hands held. Rising resilient. Hope, once taught, now taught onward, eternal, American as apple pie a la mode queer.